Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the 7 Artisans 50mm f.95 APS-C manual prime lens for Sony E-mount. Now, 7 Artisans does make this for multiple mounts, so even though this is specifically targeting cameras like what I have here, the A7R4 and A7R2, which happen to be full frame, but this lens should live happily on either of them, keep in mind 7 Artisans likely makes a copy of this lens for your respective mount as well, and it is identical. And because it's a manual piece of glass, performance should be identical, at least when it comes to the quality of the glass. So at a little under $250 US, this could be perfect for those of you looking for a 50mm option with a very fast or wide aperture, however you like to phrase it. And if you specifically like to shoot manual, again, tough to beat this price point. And when 7 Artisans reached out about me, if I was interested in reviewing this, I said absolutely, because I often review really expensive glass here, but I'm always interested in more affordable, less expensive glass that is going to give you an experience that, frankly, you wouldn't have otherwise. And that's how I view, hopefully, how I hope to view this little 50mm APS-C piece. So let's get it out of the packaging and take a look. And of course, the link to this lens is in the description for those of you that are interested in checking it out beyond the scope of this unboxing and eventual review. So paperwork, let's get right to the piece of glass. And I can tell you already, it is heavy, dense. For such a small lens, build quality at least seems excellent. And if you're wondering what the advantage of having such a wide aperture here, or fast aperture beyond the obvious, so low light, it's also going to be the bokeh that this lens in particular is capable of delivering, or at least that's my expectation of this piece of glass. And if you're not familiar with 7 Artisans, this is actually the first lens I'm reviewing from them, but I am familiar with them, and I'm glad they reached out, because their reputation has grown over the years that they've been making affordable glass, and they've created their own cult following. And that's exactly how you become popular in a field like photography, or anything else for that matter, where you don't have the reputation or the history of manufacturing that a lot of the big players have. So again, tough for me to really tell you whether or not this is going to be a winner without using it. This is just an unboxing and first look, but build quality seems really excellent. The focus ring and aperture ring are both really smooth, and again, just incredibly dense. How many elements, again, were on this? I think it's right there on the packaging, or at least a diagram is. It looks like it's 6 elements, but either way, don't quote me on that, I may be incorrect. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the A7R4, and keep in mind that full frame, this is going to be around 75mm, but the beauty with both of these cameras, but in particular the A7R4, is that when I jump over to APS-C, I have a 26 megapixel result. So really shooting on here, as I try to line this up without looking for the key dot, is that, and I'm having trouble, is that you are going to end up with pretty much the same result you would from, well, I'm really having trouble. This is on me though. This is what happens when you look at the display and the camera at the same time, aka my preview monitor and this. But what I was saying is that with a 26 megapixel result coming off of this, I am going to essentially be getting the same experience I would out of an APS-C camera, but with the advantages of the A7R4's autofocus system, which is advantageous compared to the majority of APS-C cameras on the market. So, realistically speaking, again, this is designed for APS-C, and I will have that APS-C experience here. Using it on the A7R2, not so much, because I don't have that solid mid-range, I would say average for the APS-C realm at 26 megapixels like I have here with the A7R4. That's part of the reason I love the A7R4. It's adaptive, flexible, shoots great video, and of course, great stills. It's a fantastic hybrid, especially at its price point. But back to the lens. The last manufacturer that sent me out an affordable full-frame 24mm piece of glass was Viltrox, and that happens to be a great little lens. You know, they all have their own nuance, their own quirks and mannerisms, And it's a matter of whether or not you end up liking the style and the effect that they end up delivering. So I'm hoping that this is going to please me because, again, at such an affordable price, I think it's going to be really attractive to many of you. And what I've seen online already about this lens in terms of images and reported performance from different users that I respect has been overwhelmingly positive. So that's another reason I said, yeah, send it over, because, you know, once I see that it's already well received, and this is a fairly new lens, hasn't been out that long, that's impressive stuff. So again, the 7 Artisans 50mm f.95 manual prime for APS-C, but of course, as you know, it will work with full frame E-mount. And remember, you can pick this up for your mount of choice. It doesn't have to be E-mount, of course, but that is what I focus on. That's what I shoot with, and that's why I have the E-mount version here that I'm sharing with all of you. Any questions or comments about what hopefully will amount to a little low-light bokeh beast, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.